Hello students, welcome back. Now we are going to discuss the last case for the Gauss theorem, that is electric field due to a uniformly charged sphere. The last case was that of thin spherical shell where the charge was present only on the outer surface of a hollow spherical body. But now we are having a sphere which is itself made up of the charge. That means charge is uniformly distributed and present in the interior volume of the sphere. So we are trying to find field for this case because charge is now also present in the interior portion, so its field will not be zero in the interior portion. Here, just like the earlier case, we can also have three observation points, one lying outside, one on the surface of the shell, and second anywhere in the interior point. When we derive the expression for the field due to this case, the first two cases, when field observation point lies outside or when it lies on the surface of the sphere, they will be altogether exactly the same as that of the earlier case. So the difference will be produced only in this third case when the field we have to determine in the interior point. So we are going to discuss only the third case where we have to find field at any interior point. So in order to do that, we draw the sphere. This is the sphere, O is the center, capital R is the radius of the sphere, which is holding a charge Q. The charge inside this radius R, we take it to be Q. Suppose P is the observation point where we want to find out the field. R is the distance from the center of the sphere. Considering O, we draw a Gaussian surface around it. This is our Gaussian surface. Now, an important point. This charge Q is present in the whole volume of the sphere. But when we draw the Gaussian surface, we see that the radius of the Gaussian surface or the volume of the Gaussian surface is less than the total volume of the sphere of the charge Q. So in this case, according to Gauss theorem, phi is equal to Q over epsilon naught. This means that when we find the flux using the Gauss theorem inside this Gaussian surface, the flux that will penetrate through this Gaussian surface, it will not arise due to full charge Q present in this whole volume of the sphere, but only due to that charge which will be present in this volume of the Gaussian surface. That means not in a sphere of radius r, but in a sphere of radius small r. So we have to find out the flux value at the observation point only due to the charge present in this shaded region. We suppose that the charge inside this is Q dash. So we consider an area element around the point P. dA is the area vector normal to its surface. Electric field will also be in the same direction. So flux through the Gaussian surface, flux through the area element, it will be equal to E dot dA, which will be equal to E dA into cos 0, simply E into dA. So total flux through the Gaussian surface, phi equal to integral of d phi closed integral of E dA. E is constant outside the sign of integration. Integral will take only for the area of the Gaussian surface, which is sphere in this case, so it will be equal to E into 4 pi r square. This is our first equation. Now we want to compare it with the Gauss theorem. Now, according to Gauss theorem, phi should be equal to q dash over epsilon naught. Why? Because q dash is the charge inside the Gaussian surface. So if we compare the two equations, E into 4 pi r square is equal to q dash over epsilon naught, or E is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q dash over r square. This is the equation what we get. But this is not the final equation. Why? Because we are not sure about the magnitude of q dash. Reason being, if you change the location of observation point, you bring it closer to the O or makes it away from the O. As this r value changes, the volume of the Gaussian surface changes, so magnitude of q dash also changes. So we need to express the final expression not in terms of q dash, but in terms of this total charge q, which is present in the full volume of the sphere. So in order to do that, we are going to make use of the volume charge density. We know that 4 pi by 3 into r cube. This is the volume of the sphere. Volume of the charged sphere holds charge is equal to q. So 1 unit volume will hold how much charge? Q over 4 by 3 pi r cube, which is nothing but the charge per unit volume charge density. We want to find out how much charge is present in this volume of radius small r. So charge inside Gaussian surface volume will be q dash equal to q over 4 by 3 pi r cube into volume of the Gaussian surface, 4 by 3 pi into small r cube. 4 pi by 3 cancels, q dash is equal to q r cube over r cube. This is the value of q dash. Substitute into this equation, the value of E becomes equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught 1 over r square into q r cube over r cube. Square and cube get cancel. E is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q r over r cube. This is the equation for the field at any point in the interior of the shell. You can see that 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught is constant, radius of the sphere is constant, charge inside the sphere is constant. This indicates that field is proportional to r, radius of the Gaussian surface. So if this is the sphere of radius capital R and this is a central point, so as you increase the volume of the Gaussian surface, that means as you increases the radius of the Gaussian surface, it includes more and more amount of the charge q dash. Small r, charge is smaller, you increase the value of the volume of the Gaussian surface, charge increases. So with the increase of Gaussian surface volume, the value of electric field also becomes increasing, and it goes on increasing until r becomes equal to capital R. That means when we are present right on the surface of the charged sphere, and after that it goes on decreasing. So in this case, if we draw the variation of electric field with the distance, graph will look like this. This is the distance, this is center of the sphere, this is minus r, this is plus r, because now charge is also present in the interior portion. So in this case field will not be 0. Suppose this is the maximum value of field that we can get. So right from the center, because no charge will be at the center, Q will be 0, E will be 0. But when we are moving from the center to the sphere, this equation will be valid. So as R is increasing, E is also increasing, because both are directly proportional. So graph will be a straight line, but only in the interior portion. It will become maximum at the surface, plus R and minus R. After that, when the equation of electric field will be simply 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over R square. So as R increases, field decreases. So graph will be like this, where the curve will be meeting, going towards the x-axis and meeting it at infinity, where the field will be 0. Thank you.